Miami DJs, Miami art, the social dilemma, and the 2020 elections, all on this episode. I'm Lebro, your SFA host, and only 1 week away from the general election, we got reactions and opinions from voters on President Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Check out what they had to tell us on the Hot Minute. Welcome to the Hot Minute Early Voting Edition.
We are at a voting station. Let's see what people have to say about the election.
How would you describe this election in one word?
Divisive.
Challenging.
Easy.
Unreal.
Hectic.
Necessary for the people.
Have you watched the debates?
Yes,
I did.
I did.
Yes, I did.
Who do you think has won the debates?
Trump.
I think Biden won the first one. I think Trump won the second one.
It was Democrat.
The last one was the best one. If we have to pick which one has been the best, the last one was more about the issues, more about the substance, about what really the American people wants to hear.
I think that there have been questions that have been answered, more strongly by one than the other, with less hesitation, because you look at the behaviors, you look at, are they having to think about it? And I have had some disappointments on either side.
Do you feel that your mind was already made up before the debate, or did they help you make your mind up about who you wanted to vote?
No, it was already made up, but it was reinforced.
My mind was made up.
No, I wasn't clear about it before. I was not going to vote. And I saw how immature it was, the back and forth. So I really saw that my vote needed to be counted.
Who do you think has had like a more successful campaign throughout this year?
Has Biden campaigned? I believe Trump, and you can tell that from the attendances and the rallies.
The Democrat, definitely.
Has he campaigned, Biden?
I think they both had their successes in their own ways. I think Trump has a very strong supportive system, people that follow him for his principles, his values, and what he stands for. And I think on the other side, Biden has his certain set of followers, but not necessarily because they follow him, but because they just don't like President Trump.
With COVID-19, your life has probably changed. Here's how models and videographers are holding up.
Daniel Shaw, a local Miami videographer, found himself stuck when quarantine first started. But he didn't let the situation get the best of him. Instead, he put his creativity to the test and was able to accomplish more than he had planned.
Sometimes for you to win, you have to lose. During quarantine, I lost a lot, and all of that I lost, I gained it back so far. Let's first off start with the negative side of it. A lot of projects, at least for me, they got held back. Many artists were scared of work because not just working with me, but just going outside and working with other people as well, because you don't really know who had the virus and everybody had to take care of themselves. But I also learned a lot of stuff while I was in quarantine. I didn't leave my room here, and I was just making little short films on my own here, recording by myself because I couldn't even see my friends either. They're actually the ones that help me when I'm filming. I learned a lot. I learned many new skills that right now actually things are kind of getting better. I'm applying everything, and my business is actually expanding and growing.
Like many creative people, Daniel has had to adjust to these uncertain times. The models in front of the camera have also made the best out of this challenging situation.
The way that I have adjusted my modeling career to sort of deal with the regulations is online. So a lot of castings now are online, photo submissions, video submissions, rather than before it would be going to a casting where hundreds of models are, and obviously there's no social distancing there. Now everything is online. So you might have even Zoom castings where you're Zooming with a casting director. So everything's sort of done at home, which makes things actually a little bit easier. And sort of really pushing that online presence. So building portfolio and sort of pushing on Instagram. That's definitely created another gateway for modeling.
Even in these uncertain times, the Miami music video and modeling industry is still thriving due to the creative approach that these models and directors are taking. This is Yuseli Solis for the South Florida Media Network.
Let's face it, who doesn't miss hitting the streets of Brickell and Wynwood at night on a weekend? Miami DJs for sure are.
Miami's nightlife entertainment industry was, like many others, affected by COVID-19. DJs were left without jobs and full of uncertainty.
It really impacted a lot of people. A lot of people are still jobless that if you're not really have the mentality of I'm gonna go get work, I'm gonna go find a way to hustle, they're still kind of stuck in that same position.
COVID-19 caused performers to be at their most creative in order to find other ways to share their music and obtain some profit. Virtual gigs and social media became an incredibly important resource during the process. However, the performers say there is a sense of nostalgia for live performances.
It's like going to an arena and you go into a basketball game or a football game and you hear that raw. You know what I mean? Maybe a club is not that, you don't hear that raw, but you hear the oh my God, that's my song. Ow, ow. I love that feeling. I like hearing that, you know what I mean?
Although venues are starting to open slowly at 50% capacity, curfews are still in place, and the constant party Miami is known for is not coming back for a while.
I want to see, you know, growth from where we are, you know, to how we could get better, you know what I'm saying, and be safe and all of that. Because this is really challenging. It's a tough time right now.
And remember, although it might be a while till you can see your favorite DJs live, you can always catch them on Instagram Live. This was Paula Marcano Bolivar for South Florida Access.
How has the Miami arts industry survived the pandemic? Has it survived at all?
As museums, theaters, and art spaces were forced to close down due to the pandemic, artists and their directors have been trying to maintain the arts alive while dealing with limited funding for their organizations. Let's see what they have to say.
In particular, we were concerned about artists because artists are the lifeblood of the cultural community here. And so, you know, the typical stories we were hearing is an artist would lose a teaching job, or an artist had an exhibition where they were going to sell their work, and the exhibition was canceled because of COVID-19. And so providing support to artists became an even bigger part of our work than normal.
Despite the pandemic, artists have not stopped creating their magic. Their positive mindset and hope has been one of the many reasons the arts have been able to survive during these times.
Many arts organizations are commissioning artists to do new work. It's really fabulous, right? So it gives artists the opportunity to take all of what we're going through now and creatively express it so that people have a way, they have an outlet, you know, to vent their feelings about what they're going through right now.
Organizations like the Arts and Business Council have been able to create virtual programs to help with their funding, but they still face a major challenge.
No show means no dollars. There's really, this is so unprecedented because there's no timeline for when it's going to end. There's no idea for when arts enthusiasts and arts audiences are going to be comfortable coming back. And also, how do we re-engage?
These organizations have been able to remain strong while keeping the arts and their magic alive during these times. From South Florida Access, this was Andrea Gonzalez. Now back to you, Moni.
Is social media really healthy? This is what a social media expert and a mental health expert have to say.
Social media can impact our lives positively. However, from depression to anxiety, many face the negative aspects of these platforms daily.
But why can't we stop looking at our phones? The Social Dilemma, a recent Netflix documentary that has received many attention from viewers, explains the dark side of social media.
A lot of people think Google's just a search box and Facebook's just a place to see what my friends are doing. What they don't realize is there's entire teams of engineers whose job is to use your psychology against you.
Ixamar Palumbo, a Miami influencer and senior social media specialist for the Latin Grammys, believes balance is key to not let social media disrupt your personal life.
I'll post once I get home if I'm not feeling tired. And I tell this and I communicate this with the client because a lot of times, like, you're just frustrated that you want to create content and constantly capture, and that's the moment that social media starts taking over your personal life, and that should never be the case. Social media should never really define your life. It should be an asset.
For this mental health expert, social media can be triggering, especially because users see only a little of what is real.
I think that teens and young adults specifically are triggered a lot by looking at other people who seem happier than them, prettier than them, skinnier than them, you know, and that becomes a big problem when you're not like internalizing the fact that this is just one tiny snippet of this person's life.
Social media can be a positive tool when used wisely. For the South Florida Access, Valeria Venturini. Now back to you, Moni.
Thanks for sticking around for our 4th episode. We'll see you next time, and remember, go vote.